Hey, my name is Jasper and welcome back to the channel. In case you're new here, I'm an entrepreneur and remote marketing consultant, and in this video I want to talk about 5 business ideas that you can execute to be able to work remotely. Me myself, I've been working remotely for about 10 years already. I started a marketing consulting business back when I was still in college, and I built this into a 6-figure consulting business nowadays. And today I'm going to talk about a couple of different options of things that you can do to start your own business as well and be able to work remotely. At the end of this video, I will also give you a couple of tips that will allow you to stand out from the crowd. Something that, as an experienced marketing consultant, I know a thing or two about. Personally, I'm offering marketing services to B2B companies, and last November I started my own e-commerce business. So these are my main income streams nowadays, and both of them allow me to travel while I am working. But these are definitely not the only things that you can do to be able to work remotely. So since people ask me about this quite often, I did some additional research, and together with my own experience, I created this video where I will give you 5 business ideas for things that you can execute on to be able to work remotely while you travel. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first one, and this is probably also the easiest one, is to find a job listing that allows for remote work. There are specific websites that offer these kinds of listings, and one of the greatest examples I know is remoteok.io. This is a website where companies like, for example, Shopify will list their job positions specifically for allowing remote work. If you can find anything on these websites that interests you, this is probably a good place for you to start. Next, you can freelance in a creative skill that you're good at. Nowadays, companies are more and more dependent on the internet for their business to thrive. And one of the consequences of this is that they are in need of more and more creative jobs as well. So if you are good at any skills like copywriting, graphic design, video editing, podcast editing, these are all skills that are in very high demand. And companies are looking for people all the time. In case you don't have any of these skills yet, that's also not a problem, because these days you can find free courses for about any of these skills. Just do a quick search on YouTube and I'm pretty sure you will find a lot of courses on, for example, graphic design or copywriting, and also how you can offer these as services online. And in case you want to find any more structured courses, there are also platforms like, for example, Skillshare, where you can find a lot of courses on digital marketing and creative skills as well. Your third option, the one that I did last November, starting your own e-commerce business. Now, to let this work in the long term, you would probably be best off to combine this with some creative skill as well. This will allow you to create your own product, your own brand, and will make it way easier for you to stand out from the crowds. If you are just doing retail or you are just drop shipping from, for example, AliExpress, then this will make it way harder for you to stand out from other e-commerce stores out there. Then we have our fourth option, and this is being a translator. In case you are bilingual or if you speak even more languages, this is probably a very good and easy option for you. Even with platforms out there like, for example, Google Translate, companies like myself are still looking for professional translators to translate all the content that they are producing and any promotional materials that they are putting on the internet. And last but not least, being a virtual assistant. Now, this one is specifically for you if you have pretty good project management skills and organizational skills. Other than that, there will also be a couple of other skills that you will need for about all of these remote jobs. Let's go over these skills as well. One of the first general skills that you will need for all remote jobs is being a very good communicator. It's always better to over-communicate when you are doing a remote job. Next, make sure that you can work with any online tools for project management, online meetings, and file management. I'm thinking about tools like, for example, Asana, which we use for all our work management, Slack, which is used for communications, Zoom, which is pretty easy, and also things like Office 365 and Google Workspace. You also want to make sure that you have a pretty good internet connection and a professional environment to work in. This is especially true if you're having online meetings. If you are meeting with a client, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to understand you. And if you have a bad internet connection or your video looks like it's recorded on a potato, then you are not making the best impression for the value that you are bringing them. Now, to do any of these jobs, you'll also want to stand out from the rest and to promote yourself. You need a pretty good online presence, and you also need to really stand out from anyone else applying for these jobs. I'll go over a couple of things, a couple of opportunities that I saw when conducting interviews a couple of months ago. For example, if you're having an interview with a company that you want to work with, make sure to follow up right after the interview. Send them over a couple of links to your work that you have discussed during the meeting, and also ask what the next steps are, in case this isn't discussed already during the meeting, in which case that you just want to reiterate those steps and make sure that you are still on track for the timeline that is agreed upon by both parties. Especially for these interviews, make sure that you are sitting in a nice environment to do these meetings. You want to show to your potential customer, to your potential client, that you are very easy to work with on a remote basis and that the communication will be very fluent. Make sure to do some research into the company and also ask them some questions specifically about remote work. How are they, for example, managing their online work? Are they using a tool like Asana, or are they still just using emails? These are all things that you really want to know before you start working with any of these people. Also, having a professional website will definitely work in your advantage, and if you research the client and you see some specific opportunities where you can bring value for their company, their brand, make sure to mention those as well. And I also think that one of the ways to really stand out, especially when you're just like applying for one of those jobs, is to record a video like this. This will really make you stand out, and from like the more than 100 applicants that I had a couple of months ago, not a single one sent me his application through video. I guess if I would have gotten like one decent video, this candidate would have probably stood out from all the rest. Now, do you know any other jobs that you can easily do remotely? Or is there a job that you are currently doing remotely that I didn't mention in this video? Make sure to mention it in the comments below. And in this way, you can help the community and we can all help each other here. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel for weekly new videos every Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!